Hello students, in last lecture we discussed about asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms. Today we are going to start a new point, that is the asexual reproduction in multicellular organism. As we know that multicellular organism, in that many cells are present. So first type, fragmentation. Fragments. Here there is a formation of fragments, we can say, and therefore this type of reproduction it is called as the fragmentation. The body of parent organism breaks up into many fragments, and each fragment starts to live as an independent new organism. From parent organism many fragments form, and whatever the number of fragments, new fragments will form, from that new organisms they get independently developed. This type of reproduction occurs in algae like Spirogyra and sponges like the Cycon. So this is the information about the fragmentation. Second type of asexual reproduction, it is the regeneration. Again and again it get generate, or that part can be formed again, that is called as the regeneration. As we know that the wall lizard breaks up and discards some part of its tail in emergency. Whatever the discarded part is regenerated after a period of time. This is a common example of the limited regeneration. Limited regeneration, that means only a specific body part it get reform, regenerate. That is called as the limited regeneration. However, under certain situations, an animal planaria breaks up its body into two parts, and thereafter each part regenerates remaining part of the body, and thus two new planaria are formed. This is called as the regeneration. Look at the diagram 3.8. Common example of regeneration, it is the planaria. Third type, it is the budding. We discussed this budding in unicellular organism also. Which example we discussed in that budding? Yeast, because yeast it is a unicellular fungus. Here the common example in budding in multicellular organism, that is the hydra. In case of hydra, under favorable conditions, at specific part of its body an outgrowth is formed by repeated divisions of regenerative cells of body wall, and this outgrowth part it is called as the bud. Bud, that is nothing but the bulging area. Bud grows up progressively and finally forms a small hydra. Here look at the diagram, the formation of bud, bulging area. That bulging area it get developed and new hydra is formed from that, which is called as the nascent hydra. Bud grows up progressively and finally forms a small hydra. Parent hydra supplies nutrition to the budding hydra. Budding hydra separates from the parent hydra and starts to lead an independent life when it grows up and becomes able to lead an independent life. When there is a proper development is occur, after that the nascent hydra it get detached, it gets separated from the parent cell and it grown up as a independent life. In this way budding is occur in the hydra. Fourth type, vegetative propagation. In simple word, if we want to explain this, whatever the vegetative parts of the plant, from that parts reproduction is occur. So reproduction in plants with the help of vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf and bud, it is called as the vegetative reproduction. This is the definition. Vegetative propagation in potatoes is performed with the help of eyes present on the tuber whereas in Bryophyllum it is performed with the help of buds present on the leaf margin. In case of plants like the sugarcane and grasses, vegetative propagation occurs with the help of buds present on the nodes. Nodes, that is the in between two parts, a middle area is there which is called as the nodes. Plant like carrot and radish performs vegetative propagation with the help of roots. So overall, this type of reproduction with the help of vegetative parts, it is called as the vegetative propagation. This spore formation is reduced from your syllabus for this year only. So these all types, which types? Vegetative propagation, budding, regeneration, fragmentation, these all can be observed in multicellular organisms, and these all are the types of the asexual reproduction in which only one parent is involved. Next point of our lesson, it is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, in that two germ cells are involved. One, that is the female gamete, and second, it is the male gamete. These two are called as the germ cells. Two main processes occur in sexual reproduction, because here recombination is occur, variations are occur. This is a quite complex process. First step, two main steps are there. First step of this sexual reproduction, it is the gamete formation. Gametes are formed by the meiosis, because germ cells are there. In meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half, hence haploid gametes are formed. So first step, that is the gamete formation, in that gametes are formed, male gamete and female gamete. After the formation of gametes, second step, it is the fertilization. A diploid zygote is formed in this process by union of haploid male and female gametes. Zygote divides by mitosis and embryo is formed. The embryo develops to form a new individual. So which are the steps here? First of all, there is a gamete formation. After that, there is the zygote formation, and from that zygote embryo form, and embryo get developed into the new individual. In sexual reproduction, we commonly say that we are similar to our parents, but we are not exactly similar Xerox copy of our parents. Certain similar characters are there, like hair color may be there, structure of face, these type of certain things may be there, but certain new characters are also acquired due to the recombination, and this leads to the diversity. Diversity in living organisms occurs due to the genetic variations, because when there is a genetic variations, improvement is there, certain new characters are get acquired. What is the result of these all things? This generation facing a different environment. Their parental generation, they face the different environmental condition, but they both survive in this climatic situation, in this environment. Why? Because variations are occur in their body, and therefore they can adjust themselves as per the changes in the environment. From that, sexual reproduction, first of all, the reproduction in plants. Plants are multicellular, so sexual reproduction will observe in the plants. For that, first of all, we have to understand the structure of the flower, because flower is structural unit of sexual reproduction in plants. Through the flower, the reproduction is occur in plants. Therefore, we have to understand first of all the structure of flower. It consists of 4 floral whorls as calyx, corolla androecium and gynoecium. Look at the diagram. Androecium and gynoecium are called as the essential whorls because they perform the function of reproduction. Androecium, it is the male part, gynoecium, it is a female part of the flower, and they play very important role in reproduction. Therefore, they are called as the essential whorls. Whereas calyx and corolla are called as accessory whorls because they are responsible for protection of inner whorls. Inner side there is a presence of ovary, androecium. So for protection purpose, these calyx and corolla, they are important one. Members of calyx are called as the sepals and they are green in color. Members of corolla are called as the petals. They are variously colored. Petals, that means फ्लावर्स के जो पंखुड़ियाँ होते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं पेटल्स, विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज द कोरोला. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल प्लीज़ carefully observe the diagram 3.12 parts of the flower. First of all, this is the pedicel. Pedicel, it is nothing but it attached to the stalk, okay, supporting. After that, outer layer, that is the corolla petals. These are the outer layer. Calyx, which is called as the sepals, which is green in color. If we discussed about the inner parts of the flower, gynoecium and androecium. In gynoecium, stigma, style and ovary, these three parts are there. Stigma, that means where pollen grains stick up. Style, that is long tube like structure, it is called as the style. And ovary, bottom side, just observe a bulging area is there, that is called as the ovary. In that ovary, ovules are there. So, stigma, style, ovary, collectively it is called as the gynoecium, which is the female part. Now, about the male part. Anther and filament. Anther, this is the bilobed structure. Yes, it is called as the anther. And for attachment of that anther, there is a filamental structure is there. It is a supportive. Both collectively called as the androecium, that is the male part. A flower is called as bisexual if both whorls like androecium and gynoecium are present in the same flower. Example, hibiscus. A flower is called as unisexual if any one of the above mentioned two whorls is present in the flower. In that only androecium is present, then it is called as the male flower, and if only gynoecium is present, then it is called as the female flower. Example, papaya. On this page, explanation will start from this paragraph because above part it get deduct. Pollen grains from anther are transferred to the stigma. This is called as the pollination. Example के लिए imagine that the flower of hibiscus, because that in that flower both male and female parts are same on that. Pollination occurs with the help of abiotic agents, that is the wind, water, and biotic agents like insects or other animals or birds. Pollen germinates when they fall upon such sticky stigma, that is a long pollen tube, and two male gametes are formed. Through the long pollen tube, their journey occur. From the stigma through the style, they reach towards the ovary. The pollen tube carries the male gametes. Pollen tube reaches the embryo sac. You can observe here there is a bursting of the pollen tube, and these two male gametes they release in this embryo sac. Okay, one male gamete unite with the egg cell and there is the formation of zygote, and this process it is called as the fertilization. That second male gamete unites with two polar nuclei and endosperm is formed. As two nuclei participate in this process, it is called as the double fertilization. Why it is double fertilization? One male gamete it cross with the ovule and there is a fertilization is occur, that is a zygote is formed. That zygote it convert into embryo and further development will occur. Second male gamete it unite with the polar nucleus. This part it is present and there is the formation of endosperms. Ovule develops into seed and ovary into fruit after fertilization. Fertilization is occur. Seeds fall upon the ground when fruits break up and they germinate in the soil under favorable condition. Zygote develops at the cost of food stored in the endosperm of seed and thus a new plantlet is formed. Endosperm, what is the function of here endosperm? It provides the food, stores the food. So these steps are involved in the sexual reproduction of the plant. Please read out this complete content carefully. If any difficulty regarding to that, you can ask me. Now, next point it is sexual reproduction in human being. In human beings, the woman it is a homozygous because same chromosomes are there, XX, and male it is heterozygous because one X and one Y chromosome is observed in male. Remaining part we'll discuss in next lecture. Thank you.